I'm River Gibbs. When young people in my generation want some entertainment, all we have to do is go to the internet, or maybe see a movie, or check out the 300 channels on our cable TV box. But when my grandparents were young, aside from reading a good book or spending Saturday at the movies, the best way to have fun was to listen to the radio. During the next hour, we'll turn back the clock and hear the old-time radio shows young America liked the best. Although many baby boomers remember Ozzie and Harriet from the early days of television, their pioneering sitcom had actually begun on radio nearly a decade earlier. By the way, the TV version of Ozzie and Harriet became the longest-running non-animated sitcom in history. Former band leader Ozzie and his singing wife Harriet had been a part of Red Skelton's radio show for several years when Skelton was drafted into the Second World War. Ozzie and Harriet were asked by Red sponsors to create something to fill the time slot. The answer was a sitcom, so The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet was launched on CBS in the fall of 1944. It then switched to NBC. The story of the Nelsons, Ozzie, Harriet, and sons Ricky and David, was told in over 400 radio episodes. After we hear one of them, we'll play an episode of one of the most favorite of all juvenile Western shows. First, let's visit Ozzie and Harriet.
The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, transcribed and starring the entire Nelson family, Ozzie, Harriet, David, and Ricky. One of the interesting things about the Nelson household is that occasionally it's very quiet around the house. Now, for instance, you take the present moment. Harriet's in one of those rare moments of relaxation. She's usually the busy one, but right now she's sitting in a big easy chair doing a little knitting. I thought maybe we might pick up the click of the needles, but she's a pretty quiet knitter, too. I don't know where David and Ricky are, but that's Ozzie sitting over there in the bigger, easier chair. He's just taking it easy and in a pretty big way.
Ozzie? Oh, I'm sorry. Were you dozing off there?
No. I was just sort of thinking. Not actively, but passively. I mean, I was thinking, but I wasn't thinking of anything in particular.
That's okay, dear. A person has a right to his private thoughts. I think that's guaranteed in the Constitution or something, isn't it?
Well, if it isn't exactly guaranteed, it certainly is implied.
I was just doing a little thinking myself.
Oh? What were you thinking about?
Oh? I thought I was guaranteed...
Oh, no, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to.
Well, actually, I was just thinking... We haven't been out any place recently.
Oh, I don't know. I think we have. I mean, this is just a stretch during the year when not many people give parties.
Everybody will probably give a party at once. I sent a couple of your suits out to be cleaned and pressed just in case.
A couple? You sound as if I have a closet full.
You do. Not many are wearable.
Oh, I'll get it. Just a minute. Well, hiya, Joe.
Hi, Oz. How's my boy?
Fine. Come on in. I hope you'll forgive my appearance. I wasn't expecting any company.
Oh, that's okay, Oz. I can only stay for a minute. I wanted to extend an invitation to you and Harriet.
Hello there, Joe.
Hiya, Harriet. How's my girl?
Just fine, thanks. Won't you come in and sit down?
No, thanks, Harriet. I just dropped by for a minute.
Hi, Mr. Randolph.
Well, hello there, Ricky. How's my boy?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen him today.
No, I mean you. How are you?
Oh, fine, thanks.
What's this about an invitation, Joe?
Well, Oz, I've had my annual brainstorm.
I'll bet I know what it is.
Let me do the honors, Harriet. I have a scroll here someplace. Oh, yeah, here it is. Hear ye. All ye old friends and ye old neighbors are invited to ye old Randolph's house for ye old come as ye are party.
And all ye whosoever chicken out are dirty dogs.
Oh, another one of those crazy parties of yours, huh, Joe?
Yes, sirree. And it's at our house as usual. And you're liable to get the call any time this afternoon or tonight.
Oh, boy, me too.
No, son. Ye aren't old enough.
Yeah, that's right, Ricky. This is just for the grown-up children. Now, remember the rules, Oz. When the phone rings, drop everything and come running just the way you are, no matter how you're dressed.
Yeah, I remember. Just drop everything and run.
Of course, if you were just fastening your suspenders, you better pick up your pants.
Oh,
before you
well,
start running.
yes.
That sounds like a good idea.
Now, remember, you're on your honor to come as you are.
You wouldn't want to give us a hint about when it's going to be.
Why,
I figured you wouldn't.
Then we'll see you later, Joe.
Yeah, right you are, Harriet.
It's at your house, you say?
That's right, Oz, our house.
Fine. Joe, what time should we drop over?
Oh, no, you don't. You thought you could make me say be over at our house at 7:30, didn't you?
Oh, so it's 7:30, huh?
That's right, Oz, 730 Oak Street, where we've been living for the past 10 years. See you later.
What is this party anyway, Pa?
Oh, just a party, son.
How come Mr. Randolph wouldn't tell you what time to come?
Well, that's the point of it. You're not supposed to know.
Kind of like a secret, huh?
Yeah, kind of. Mr. Randolph will call us on the phone, and we'll have to go over there in whatever clothes we're wearing at the time.
Even if you have your old clothes on?
That's right. That's the fun of it. Getting caught unawares.
That doesn't sound like much fun to me, getting caught in your underwear.
Nobody actually gets caught in his underwear unless he's pretty dumb.
Oh, I don't know. You did pretty well last year. As I recall, you were the hit of the party.
What were you wearing, Pa?
Oh, it's what he wasn't wearing.
I had on my pajamas and an old bathrobe. Wouldn't have been too bad, except most of the other people seemed to be very well dressed. Well, don't worry, that Joe Randolph isn't going to catch me this year.
Where are you going?
Well, I just thought I'd go upstairs and put on my good suit. And when he calls, I'll be all set.
I thought you were supposed to wear whatever you have on.
Well, that's right, and when he calls, I know what I'll have on, my good suit.
But won't that spoil the fun?
Not for me, it won't. This year, the fun is going to be not knowing what everybody else will be wearing.
I don't get it.
Well, if it sounds a little confusing to you...
Oh, no, Pa. Sounds very confusing.
Well, anyway, I don't intend getting caught in my pajamas and old bathrobe again this year.
Yes, but...
No, I know what you're going to say. Where's my sense of humor? Where's my sense of fair play? Where's my good sportsmanship? And I say to you, where's my good suit? I'm going upstairs.
All right, but I still think you're taking this thing too seriously.
Crazy mixed-up adults.
Oh, Harriet. Now, who ever heard of sweeping the porch in a formal party dress? Where's your sense of fair play? Where's your sportsmanship?
The same place yours are, up in the bedroom closet. Now go on before I lose my sense of direction with this broom.
There, look out there. You must admit this was a smart thing to do. No use going over the Randolphs in old rags.
Now, I suppose you're right. I'm sorry if I got any dust on you. Here, let me brush you off.
No, thanks. I think I'll go over and tell Thorny about my little scheme.
Looks like you won't have to.
What do you mean?
Well, there's Thorny over there now, and he's got his tuxedo on.
Oh, for goodness sakes. Hey, Thorny!
Hi, Oz.
Oh, I didn't know they were going to have a head waiter at the party.
Relax, Oz. I just don't want to get caught like I was last year.
Well, how was that?
You mean you don't remember?
I don't believe so. I was in my pajamas and an old robe. I thought I was the hit of the show.
You were just the opening act, Oz. I was the featured attraction. See, when the phone rang last year, I was taking a shower.
Oh! You were all wrapped up in that silly-looking bathrobe.
Oh, that was our shower curtain. But I'm not worried this year. That Joe Randolph can phone any time he chooses.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah, you do look pretty sharp at that.
Well, thanks. I haven't had this dark suit on in some time.
Yeah, I know. I can smell the mothballs. How do you like my old tux, huh?
Oh, fine. Say, those work gloves really set it off nicely.
Oh, these. Almost forgot. I got to take out the trash.
What about your suit? White ashes won't look so good on that green tuxedo.
Oh, they'll brush off. Even if they don't, I'm not going to be caught with my tuxedo off.
I don't blame you. Gee, I wish Joe would call now.
Did you hear the phone?
No. I just said I wish he'd call. It'd be all ready for him.
I better get in the house.
Oh, I thought you were going to take out the ashes.
Yeah, I am, but I think I'll get my top hat and cane just in case Joe calls early. Hey, you know what, Oz?
What's that?
I bet I'll be the best-dressed trash man in town.
Well, I'll see you later, Tony. Fellas.
Oh, hiya, Pa.
Holy smokes, where are you going all dressed up? Oh, nowhere, Dave. That is not for a little while yet. Your mother and I are invited to a come-as-you-are party at the Randolph's house. Going to wash the car for us?
Yes, sir. Mom asked me to.
Well, that's very nice of you to wash it when she asked you.
Yes, sir.
Of course, the dollar he's getting has nothing to do with it.
You'll get your share. Come on now, hand me that soapy water.
What kind of soap are you using there, Dave?
I got it from the kitchen.
Not too much soap now.
Why not, Pa?
Well, it's liable to be too strong, and then the paint oxidizes or something. It makes it kind of not too much soap.
Okay, Pa.
I think I'd rinse it off now if I were you, Dave.
You're not going to want a consultation fee, are you, Pa?
No. Just want to help you do the job right. Hey!
Yeah, Pa.
Oh, now, Dave, it's a narrow escape. Can't afford to get this suit splashed.
Sorry, Pa.
Can't you get it clean, Pa? I think the cleaner's coming today.
Well, that's not the point, son. Yeah, I better step back. You don't have to change my clothes.
Look out, Pa! Holy smoke.
Did you hurt yourself, Pa?
No. Pants are soaked. Put that bucket there anyway.
You did.
The back of your pants are soaked, Pa.
I seem to be aware of that. Thank you, David.
Everything all right, David?
Yes, ma'am. Where are you, Mom?
Hey, look out with the hose, David.
I'm sorry, Pa.
It's all right, son. I suppose the damage was already done.
Ozzie,
Please, Harriet, no salt in the wounds.
you're the one who was going to stay dressed up for the party.
Yes, that was my plan. Obviously, it's all wet. Harriet, where are my other suit pants?
In the closet.
Why don't you answer the phone, Pa?
What phone?
The phone that's ringing. Right over there.
Oh, yes.
Might be Mr. Randolph. You wouldn't want to miss a party. You want me to answer?
No. Just give me a pair of pants. I'll answer it.
Here.
Hey, whose pants are these anyway?
Well, they're mine.
Oh, holy smokes.
Hello?
Oz?
Just a minute. He's right here.
Okay, I might as well take my punishment. Give me the phone, son. You'll probably be hearing about this 20 years from now. Okay, Joe, you've got me.
It's not Joe, Oz. It's me, Thorny.
Thorny, it's wonderful to hear your voice. Listen, hang on to the phone for a few minutes, will you? I don't want anybody to ring it. I know this isn't cricket, but I'm in a jam, and I'll explain later. Just keep it off the hook.
I was going to ask you to do the same, Oz. I got to change my clothes. I had a little accident with a trash can. I'm covered with ashes.
Well, as I said earlier in the evening, it sometimes gets very quiet around the Nelson household. What I should have added is that it never stays that way for very long. At least, if today is a typical example. Just as Harriet mentioned that the Nelsons hadn't been out very often recently, Joe Randolph stopped by and invited them to his annual come-as-you-are party. So far, Ozzie has gotten his best suit drenched. But now he's seated gingerly in the living room, attired in his second-best outfit, waiting for Joe to phone. I think Harriet's coming in from the dining room. Wonder what she's carrying.
Oh, what have you got there, Harriet?
Well, we're all dressed up, and it's kind of a festive occasion, so I thought I'd whip up a few hors d'oeuvres.
Oh, a little party before the party, huh? Oh, they really look good.
Try one.
Just a second.
What's the idea of all the napkins?
Well, I've already ruined one suit today, and I'm not going to take any chances with this one.
Come on in, Thorny.
Hi, Oz. Hi, Harriet.
Hiya,
Hello,
Thorny.
Thorny. Well, I see you're going formal tonight.
Yep, this is one time the joke is going to be on Joe Randolph.
Has he called you yet?
No, I thought I'd drop in and see if he'd called you. Well, what have we got here? Hors d'oeuvres, eh?
Why is it you always drop in just as we're having something to eat?
You know, Oz, I've often wondered about that myself. However, don't let me interrupt you. I'll just sit over here quietly. Quietly and hungrily.
Help yourself, Thorny. There's enough for all of us.
Well, thanks, Harriet. That's mighty neighborly of you. Boy, these really look delicious. There's one thing missing, though.
What's that?
Champagne. We ought to have some champagne to go with these wonderful hors d'oeuvres.
You have pretty expensive taste, don't you, old boy?
We'd only need a small bottle. Say about the size of that bottle of champagne in your refrigerator, Oz.
Now, wait a minute, Thorny. That was a Christmas present. I'm saving it for a special occasion.
Well, this is a very special occasion. We're finally putting one over on that joker, Joe Randolph.
Hey, this is kind of an occasion at that. How about it, Harriet? Shall we live it up tonight?
Whatever you say, dear.
By golly, let's do it. I'll get the champagne and some glasses.
Good boy, Oz. You're a real sport.
Where's Catherine, Thorny?
Oh, she's home fixing her face. You should have heard her laugh when she saw me in my tuxedo. She thinks I'm being silly about the whole thing.
What's Catherine going to wear?
I'll wear whatever she's wearing when Joe calls. She says that's the fun of a come-as-you-are party.
Yes, I suppose so.
Of course, for the last 3 hours, she's been wearing her best party dress.
Well, I don't plan to be trapped this time either.
The laugh's really going to be on old Joe when we walk in there all dressed up. Huh?
Well, here we are. Is this an old enough vintage for you?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. 53 was a good year. Want me to show you how to open that?
No, I can open it myself, Thorny.
It's very simple, you know. You just twist those wires.
Yes, I know, Thorny. I've opened a bottle of champagne before.
I don't think you're doing it right, Oz. Here, let me show you.
Will you just sit down? I'm perfectly capable of doing this without your help.
I just want to show you one thing.
Thorny, get your big hands off my bottle of champagne.
If you let go for a minute, I can open it for you.
I told you, I don't need your help. I've almost got it open now.
Nice going, Oz. Now look what you've done.
Look what I've done. Look what you've done. My suit is ruined.
Well, so is my tuxedo.
This wouldn't have happened if you'd kept your big clumsy hands out of the way.
My big clumsy hands? What about your big clumsy hands?
Don't you think you boys had better postpone the argument until you've changed your clothes?
Holy smokes, that's right. Joe's liable to call any time now.
Would you care for anything else?
No, thank you. It was a wonderful dinner, Harriet.
Oh, you were so nervous for fear you'd spill something on your suit, I'll bet you don't even know what we had.
Sure I do. I can tell by the spots on me. Meatloaf, string beans, mashed potatoes, and apple pie. Lucky I had this big apron on.
Well, if you spilled all that, you really were nervous.
Yeah, my hand was trembling a little. Well, I guess I can take off the apron now. You want me to help you clear the table?
Nope, you go on in the living room and relax. You've had a busy day. I wonder when Joe's going to call. The suspense is killing me.
If I know Joe, he'll wait until the last minute. We're ready for him.
Hey, Pa, what do you suppose is wrong with this?
What's that, Rick?
I can't get any ink out of this fountain pen.
No, Ricky, be careful with that thing. Might go off.
Oh, don't worry, Pa. I can't even get any ink out of it.
Well, I'm sure I could all over myself. This is my day for doing things like that.
Maybe it just has to be refilled.
Well, whatever it is, you'll have to do it yourself. It's my last suit, and I'm not taking any chances.
Doggone it, they must pound these stoppers in with a sledgehammer.
What's the matter, Dave?
Can't get the top off the shoe polish. And here, Pop, maybe you can do it.
No! David, Take that out on the back porch. All I'd need is to get shoe polish on this suit.
Oh, yeah, forgot about that.
Ozzie, it's almost 7:30. Shouldn't Joe be calling pretty soon?
Gee, hasn't he called yet?
No, Dave, old Joe always calls when you least expect it. Tries to catch you off guard that way.
He won't catch you this time, will he, Pop?
Not this time, Rick.
What's that, dear?
Nothing, just a little loose thread here on my shoulder.
Oh, wait a minute. I got a pair of scissors.
No, don't bother. I can break it.
You better let me cut that for you.
No. Ridiculous. Who can't break a little piece of thread?
Gosh, Pop just ripped his coat sleeve off.
For goodness sakes, what kind of a suit is this?
Obviously not a very good one.
Well, I just bought it a couple of weeks ago, and it has to be a pretty good suit. It was on sale. How about that? The sleeve just dropped right off.
Boy, wouldn't it be something if Mr. Randolph called now?
Do you know I'm just about out of clothes?
Well, don't bother to change, dear. Wear that. Maybe you'll start a new fashion for men. Off-the-shoulder jackets.
Here I go again. I've worn more suits today than I usually wear in a month.
We ought to put an elevator in for you, Pop.
It's not a bad idea. It's the first time I've ever been tired out from a party before it's even started. Well, I have exactly 2 wearable outfits left in the closet. My overalls or my swimming trunks.
You have a couple more suits at the cleaners. Those slacks look very nice. Come on over and sit down.
No, I'm just going to stand right here in the middle of the room where nothing can possibly happen to me. That is, unless the roof falls in.
What's the matter now?
I think I see a crack in the ceiling. Harriet, the next time Joe gives one of these deals, I'm going to have a plastic slipcover made for myself. Boy, it's about time. We made it, though. Hello.
Hello, Oz. This is Joe Randolph.
Yes, Joe, I kind of thought it might be you.
I got some bad news, Oz. I'm afraid we're going to have to postpone the party.
Oh, Joe, you're kidding.
Well, I hate to call you up at the last minute, but just one of those things.
Oh, but we've been waiting. I mean, we've been looking forward to the party.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure sorry. I hope you aren't too disappointed.
Well, of course we're disappointed. I understand, though.
Yeah, well, I got to call a lot of people, so I'll see you later, Oz.
Well, so long, Joe. Fine. How do you like that?
What is it?
The Randolphs have had to postpone their party.
Somebody sick?
Yeah, I am.
No, I mean, why did they have to postpone it?
Well, I don't know. He had to call a lot of people. I didn't ask.
Well, what do we do now?
Well, I'm going upstairs and change my clothes.
Again?
Yes, but for the last time. I'm going to put on my pajamas and robe, watch television for a little while, and go to bed.
Oh, I think that's a wonderful idea.
Well, at least I'll be able to relax now. Harriet.
Yes, dear?
Look, the Randolphs are nice people. I know you and Clara are good friends, and Joe and I are good friends. But if you ever hear they're giving another party, let's try and arrange to be out of town. Oh, hi, fellas.
Gee, Pop, what'd you spill on yourself this time?
What do you mean?
How come you're wearing your pajamas?
Oh, that. Oh, the party's been postponed.
Gee, that's too bad, Pop.
Yeah, well, I'd just soon stay home. Besides, I really feel comfortable for the first time today.
Want me to answer it, Pop?
No, I'll get it. It's probably Thorny. Hello?
Hi, Oz. Joe Randolph again.
Oh, hiya, Joe.
Okay, you know the party rules. No fair cheating either. You got to wear just what you have on right now.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
They're coming to your party tonight.
Tonight? You said you were going to postpone it.
That's right. We postponed it from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. I've caught more people this way.
Wait a minute, Joe.
See you later.
Joe? All the dirty tricks.
What were you shouting about, dear?
Though Joe's party wasn't postponed, it was all a gag. He just called up and...
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. I was under the dryer. What did you say?
Oh, for goodness sakes.
Well, don't look so startled. You've seen this old bathrobe before. You've seen me with my hair up in curlers, too.
I know, dear, and I've seen you with your face covered with cold cream before. Let's go. We're off to the Randolphs.
This is Vern Smith saying tune in again next week for another transcribed adventure of Ozzie and Harriet, starring Ozzie Nelson and Harriet Hilliard.
A half hour in the life of Ozzie and Harriet. Now, we move on to one of the most famous juvenile westerns of all. One of the earliest run westerns on radio profiled the exploits of a cowboy named Tom Mix. But what boys and girls heard on radio was really nothing like the small-town real-life Tom Mix, who was a sheriff and often lied about his alleged exploits, but became a silent screen hero. In 1933, an ad agency in St. Louis was looking for some radio vehicle for one of its clients, the Ralston Purina Company. How about a radio version of the old Tom Mix stories? For 20 years, Ralston continued to produce the show, selling tons of its breakfast cereals through the use of on-air promotions that required boys and girls to send in Ralston box tops. After a short time off the air, Tom Mix returned in the summer of 1944 with actor Curly Bradley in the title role. There are very few surviving copies of the initial 20-year run of Tom Mix. We do, though, have many of the later episodes, and here is one of them.
The Tom Mix Ralston Straight Shooters are on the air. And here comes Tom Mix, America's favorite cowboy. Up, Tony, come on, boy. Ralston for your breakfast, start the day all shining bright. Gives you lots of cowboy energy with a flavor that's just right. It's delicious and nutritious, bite-sized and ready to eat. Take a sip from home, no one says your mom's ready lonesome, can't beat me. The Tom Mix Ralston Straight Shooters bring you action, mystery, and mile-a-minute thrills. Tonight you're about to hear another episode in a baffling mystery. The mystery of the Vanishing Village. Tom Mix and Sheriff Mike are trying to solve the oddest mystery of their career. For an entire village of 600 people has disappeared, vanished as totally as if it had never existed. Worse than that, 2 men, obviously somehow connected with the disappearance of the village, have been murdered. Tom is determined to find the answer to the mystery, not only because the people must be found and the murderers apprehended, but also because Sergeant Hank Smith of the United States Army is desperately anxious to find the girl he came home to marry, a girl who lived in the village which has vanished. In a moment, we'll ride an action-packed trail of adventure. But first, here's good news, the best news you've ever heard. It's news of a sensational radio offer. Sheriff Mike Shaw has arranged to have some badges made. That's right, whistling sheriff badges, exactly like the one the vigilantes gave him. Think of it. You can have a whistling sheriff's badge exactly like Mike Shaw's for your very own. This badge is a knockout. There's never been anything like it before. You see, it's made of metal, shaped in the form of a shield, has crossed 6 shooters at the top, and the word sheriff stamped in big letters to make it official. In the center of the badge, now get this, in the center of the badge, there's a siren whistle. Yes, sir, a siren whistle built in. And when you blow on it, it sounds like this. Boy, oh boy, will you ever get a kick out of this whistling sheriff's badge. And will your friends envy you when you wear it. Now, to get yours, here's all you have to do. From the top of a red and white checkerboard package of delicious shredded Ralston, tear off the little circle with the letters RSS printed in it. Tear off the circle with RSS printed in it from the top of one shredded Ralston package. Mail this RSS circle with 10 cents in coin and your name and address to Tom Mix, Box 808, St. Louis, Missouri. That's all you have to do, and we'll send you your whistling sheriff's badge right away. This offer is good only in the United States. The supply is limited, so get your order in tonight tomorrow sure. And now, let's join Tom, Mike, and Sergeant Smith as they examine the body of Harry Phillips, Moose Creek Junction station agent, who has just been killed. Listen.
He's the second one, Tom. Salatiel Albine was the first, and he's the second. Both of them killed the same way, by a long-range rifle equipped with a silencer.
Holy mackerel, Sheriff, how can you tell that?
Why, easy, Sergeant. You note that there window at the other end of the room has a hole through it. A neat hole drilled by a bullet. Now, that bullet come from the outside.
Nice work, Mike.
Thanks, Tom.
Holes, bodies, blood. And this is no motion picture. It's real. Zounds, what a tragedy. How come this man to be killed, Mix?
If I knew that, Mr. Dane, I'd know the answer to a lot of questions.
Oh, silly of me to ask you. I forget that after all, you're really only a cowboy.
That does it.
What, Mike?
I said that does it. I just naturally can't hold myself no longer, Tom. Now, looky here, you sawed-off, spindly shank imitation of a man.
Huh?
You may think you're a great Hollywood director. Leastways, you may think that there dinky little yellow French hat you're wearing, that blue muffler makes you one. But around here, and especially with me, you're just a little shrimp trying to make a big noise. Now, shut up.
Oh, Parrish is all. Did you hear what he said to 8?
Quiet, boys, now. Look here, my poor fellow.
I said shut up.
I ignore you. Fix. Do you believe, honestly, that the death of this man has some connection with the lost village?
If you don't mind, Harlequin, I'd rather not discuss the matter with you. After all, it's none of your affair. And
Eureka!
Calls me around again, Willie. Now what?
I found it. Boys, it has come to me in a flash of miraculous brilliance.
Oh, yes, Mr. Dane. Oh, indeedy, Mr. Dane.
You're very wonderful, Mr. Dane. Just what has come to you, Dane?
Why, the storyline for my picture. Oh, zounds, what an idea. Village vanishes. 600 people disappear. That gives us mystery. Now, for action, we have the murder of 2 men who are implicated somehow. Now, all we need is love interest. Must have love interest. How about it, boys?
Oh, yes.
Quiet, let me think.
Yes.
Quiet. Wait. I have it.
Yes, we knew you'd get it, Mr. Dane.
Oh, we did indeed. Yes, we
The
did.
sergeant there. Of course, that gives us a war interest, too. The wounded sergeant returns home, desperately anxious to marry the girl he left behind him, but the girl has vanished, too. You get it? The girl has vanished with the village.
Oh, what he did to Mr. Dane. He struck Mr. Dane with his fist.
Take it easy, Hank. Take it easy.
He struck
Get him
me.
out of here, Tom. Get him out of here, or I'll shoot him.
Steady, son. I agree he's a kind of a crawling thing, but I don't reckon he knew he was hitting that close to home.
Why, that man hit me. Wait. You mean the things I said, the idea I projected? You mean it's so?
I'm afraid it is, Dane. You better wait outside and wait quietly.
Oh, yes. I perhaps silence is golden. Perhaps. Here, come, my men. We go.
Yes, Mr. Dane. You know you were marvelous the way you handled that group, Mr. Dane.
Simply supreme, Mr. Dane.
Thank you very much. I didn't want them to have all that because I...
Hey, Tom, you sure he ain't meaning to have that there loudmouth skunk as a guest at the ranch?
When I made that offer, it was hospitality, pure and simple, Mike. But now...
But now you changed your mind, huh?
No, my offer's still good, Mike.
Huh?
The great Harlequin Q. Dane will be my guest at the T.M. Bar.
Oh, Tom.
But for a different reason, Mike. A completely different reason.
What do you mean? What's in your mind?
Just a feeling, Mike. Just one of those hunches that Harlequin Q. Dane is even more important than even he thinks he is.
Tom, you got a look in your eyes that tells me you've discovered something, that you're following a trail. Now, what is it?
No, not now, Mike. 2 men have been killed, and we've got to do something about it. I want Doc Green and Dobie to perform a thorough medical examination.
Later that night, Tom sits in his darkened office at the T.M. Bar. He sits hunched in a chair, his feet propped on the open window, gazing out into the star-filled night. Tom is deep in thought, and off in the distance, a coyote yaps mournfully.
Who's that? Who's there?
It's me, Tom, Hank Smith.
Oh, come in, Hank.
I know you're thinking, Tom. I know you're trying to figure out what the mess is all about.
Oh, over here, Hank. No, don't turn on the light. Just take that other chair by the window.
Thanks, Tom.
Oh, I know how you're feeling, Hank. You're having a terrible time of it.
You're certainly right about that. But, Tom, I just can't help feeling guilty about having you brought all the way from Antwerp, from a hospital bed, to solve a case that hasn't got any solution.
Every mystery has a solution, Hank. Every question has an answer, and we'll find the answer to this one.
If I could only know that Mary's safe, that she's well. But the chances are she isn't. I don't know how a village could possibly disappear. But it must have been something terrible that happened.
Terrible? Yeah, in some ways I suppose it was.
What do you mean? in some ways.
Son, I know how important this is to you, and while I've got an idea as to what happened, Hank, I can't talk about it right now, even to you. I'm just beginning to find the signposts along the trail. Just ride along with me till I've actually found the trail itself. Will you?
Okay, Tom. But what about this Harlequin Dane jerk, the Hollywood director?
Well, for one thing, Hank, don't consider him the typical Hollywood director. Dane is one of the phonies. A lot of talk and nothing behind it. He's also a chiseler of the first water. And just before you came in, I was getting ready to make a call to the Twin Rivers Hotel. A call in connection with Mr. Dane. Do you mind if I do it now?
Holy mackerel, of course not, Tom.
So you see, there was one thing, among others, that I noticed about Mr. Dane that I never noticed before. Oh, Twin Rivers Hotel, please. Yes, ma'am, thank you. See, I've seen him often, Hank, when I've been making a picture in Hollywood. Him and his hangers-on, those boys who yes him to death. But there was one hombre who isn't with him on this trip, and that's surprising.
Oh, who's that, Tom?
A publicity agent named Hardy Post. A crackerjack when it came to publicity. Full of ideas. But he loved to gamble. Result was he was always in debt, and no decent studio would have him around. But, hello? Yes, this is Tom Nick speaking. Oh, hello, Bill. Say, Bill, have you got a person registered by the name of Hardy Post? Yes, Hardy Post, that's right. Yes, I'll wait, Bill. As I was saying, Hank, Dane was glad to hire him for a small salary when Hardy was broke and needed the money. And yes, Bill? I see. Mm-hmm. How long has he been registered? July 17th. Yes, I see. Oh, no, Bill. Now, listen, Bill. Just forget I called. Right. Oh, by the way, how's the youngster doing? Uh-huh. Fresh with the job, did he? Oh, that's good. Oh, no, forget it, Bill. Forget it. You don't owe me a thing. Oh, much obliged, Bill. So long, fella. I was right, Hank. By heaven, I was right.
Tom, you're excited. What is it?
I don't know. I don't really know, but here are the facts. An entire village back. A phony Hollywood director gets a letter from your father, a letter dated July the 8th. The letter says your father will be glad to have him come and make a picture in Smithville. Now, on July 17th, the Hollywood director's press agent arrives in Twin Rivers, the closest large town to Smithville, and he's been registered there ever since.
Tom, what are you driving at?
I tell you, I don't know, Hank. I'm just giving you the facts. I'm giving you the pieces of a jigsaw puzzle that we've got to put together. Now then, the Hollywood director, Harlequin Q. Dane, and his press agent, Hardy Post, are both the kind of men you wouldn't trust 10 inches. Also, the minute they enter the picture, an entire village disappears. I tell you, Hank, they're connected with us somehow, somewhere. I knew Harlequin was in on it earlier this evening when he shot his mouth off about the picture he was going to make.
I don't get it, Tom.
Hank, the great Dane is the type of person who will tell a lie and then begin to believe it himself. You hit him because he began to invent a story around you and a missing girl. But he wasn't inventing it.
Huh?
He knew it was actually so, Hank. He knew, even though he didn't realize it, that you had come back and found your boyhood sweetheart missing.
Well, I just don't understand, Tom.
Well, Hank, here, let me put it another way. The so-called Great Dane, and believe me, that's not his right name.
Wait, Tom, out there in the moonlight, staggering toward the house.
Great guns, it's a girl. Look, she stumbled. She's fallen. Come on, let's get to her, Hank. Through the window.
Tom, I got a feeling. I think...
Here we are, Hank, here we are. The girl.
Tom, I was right. It's Mary. It's Mary, the girl I came back to marry. And she's hurt, Tom. She's hurt badly.
What is the meaning of this new development? Where has Mary Slade come from? What story will she have to tell about the vanished village of Smithville? Straight shooters, here's your chance to be a detective. You have all the facts and all the clues, just as many as Tom himself has. See if you can figure out the answer to this strange mystery yourself. And to check your solution and to follow a trail of breathtaking adventure, be sure to join Tom Mix and his Ralston Straight Shooters next Monday in the next episode of The Mystery of the Vanishing Village. And don't miss this sensational offer. To get a handsome Whistling Sheriff's badge, exactly like Mike Shaw's, act tonight, tomorrow sure. Boy, this badge is made of metal and it's a beauty. Designed in the form of a shield, it has cross six-shooters at the top and the word Sheriff in big raised letters to make it official. And built in the center of the badge is a siren whistle, That's right, a siren whistle used by the vigilante. When you blow on the whistle, it sounds like this. Boy, oh boy, this is one offer you don't want to miss. And here's all you have to do. To get your badge, just ask Mother to get you a red and white checkerboard package of delicious bite-sized shredded Ralston. From the top of the package, tear off the little circle with the letters RSS in it. Mail this RSS circle with your name and address and 10 cents in coin to Tom Mix, Box 808, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Box 808, St. Louis, Missouri. Do it tonight, tomorrow sure. This offer good only in the United States. Tom Mix was played by Curly Bradley. Don Gordon speaking.
The evil Dr. Fu Manchu was the invention of writer Sax Rohmer. The character first came on radio in radio's earliest days, premiering in 1927 on NBC Radio when the network was only a year old. Fu Manchu, like many Asian bad guys, was acted with a stereotypical accent and an evil sneer. Now, from the early 1950s, Fu Manchu.
The Shadow of Fu Manchu. Based on the series by Sax Rohmer. London at midnight. A great city wrapped in a heavy shroud of dense yellow fog. Streetlights, weird as elfin lamps, glow mistily like something fashioned in a dream. The murmur of creeping traffic, low, hushed, mysterious. Behind an ancient wall surrounding unkept lawns, a vast, gloomy old mansion crouches like an evil beast of prey. Amid the walls concealed in heavy tapestries, magnificently figured in golden dragons. The floor carpeted with rich, deep-piled Chinese rugs. At a huge dragon-leg table, covered with scintillating globes, tubes, and instruments, unknown to Western science, sits that master scientist, that prince of evil, Dr. Fu Manchu. Enveloped in heavy yellow silk gown, he thoughtfully studies through long, narrowed eyes the glow of the green light of a fashionably gowned, exquisitely beautiful Eurasian woman who stands beyond the table, watching him fearfully. Presently, he nods slowly, leans forward, and...
You have followed my instructions, Caramel?
The message has been delivered to Sir Crichton Davy at number 5 Westbourne Road.
Good. And our friend who believes he can forestall the hand of Dr. Fu Manchu, Mr. Nathan Smith, the detective, what of him? Well?
At this moment, Master, he approaches the house of Dr. James Petrie in Baker Street.
Dr. Petrie of Baker Street. A fool to be pitied. Then it is time, Caramel, for me to finish my business with Sir Crichton Davy.
Visitors at this time of the night. A body cannot get any sleep in this house. Will?
I beg pardon, ma'am, but is Dr. Petrie in?
And where else would the doctor be at this hour but at home, where our self-respecting people should be? Come in. Wait a moment.
Yes, come in.
Gentleman to see you, Dr. Petrie.
Oh, yeah. What were you saying, Mrs. McGregor?
I said there'd be a gentleman to see you.
What, at this time of the night? Why, it's midnight. Why can't these patients come at the regular hours? Show him in.
Will you step in, sir?
Thank you. Why, Nayland. Nayland Smith.
Bit of a surprise, eh, Petrie, old chap? Didn't expect me, I'll wager.
Anyone but you, old man. I thought you were in Burma. Well, this is a delightful surprise.
Excuse me, Petrie.
What are you doing?
I'm putting out your light.
Well, what's wrong?
I'm not mad, Petrie. But before you're very many hours older, you'll know I have an excellent cause for caution. Just a second. Good. No one watching from the street. Perhaps I've arrived first this time. It's all right. You may turn on your light now.
What is all the mystery, Nayland? You break into a man's room at midnight?
Just enough, old chap. But first, a bit of scotch, please.
Oh, neat or soda?
Neat, if you don't mind.
Yeah. There you are.
Thank you.
You're on leave, eh?
Leave? No, Petrie, no such luck. I'm on duty.
In London? You've been transferred home?
A roving commission. Here today and gone tomorrow.
Well, tell me. What's it all about?
First, let me show you something. Wait until I take off my coat. Look at my arm. Ever see a wound like that?
Not exactly. Nasty looking arm, old chap. Quite healed, though. Good job it got you in the fleshy part of the forearm. Appears to have been deeply cauterized.
Right. Very deeply. It had to be. An arrowhead dipped in the venom of a hamadryad went in there.
A hamadryad?
The most deadly of all eastern reptiles. There's only one treatment. A sharp blade, a match, and a broken cartridge.
Devilish strong treatment. Even then it's touch and go. An accident?
That's the point. It was not an accident. And at this moment, I'm on the heels of the man who extracted the venom from the snake, prepared the arrow, and caused it to be shot at me.
Oh, you're joking, eh?
Does that wound look like a joke? And that man, unless my calculations are wrong, is now in London.
And you hope to find him?
Petrie, I've traveled from Burma, not in the interests of the British government merely, but of the entire white race. And I honestly believe its survival depends largely on the success of my mission.
Well, sounds rather fantastic, old man.
If it only were fantasy. But I'm wasting time. I came to you because you're the only man I can trust. Aside from my chief, I hope you're the only one who knows I've left Burma.
How can I help you, Nayland? District practitioner is hardly
Must
likely
have
to...
someone with me all the time, someone I can absolutely trust. It's imperative. Petrie, can you spare a few days to a weird and dangerous business?
Well, of course. My practice doesn't confine me too closely.
Good. Then we start now.
Now? You mean tonight?
Tonight. There's one move we must make immediately. I must warn Sir Crichton Davy.
Crichton Davy? Of the Indian Bureau?
Exactly. He's a doomed man unless he follows my instructions without question, without hesitation. Oh, yes. Better take your pistol. We'll get a taxi at the corner. Come on, Petrie. Let's hurry. There isn't a single moment to lose.
Oh, beastly fog. Crichton Davy, eh? Ah, influential man.
One of the political bigwigs, Petrie. And for that very reason, nothing, absolutely nothing can save him if he hesitates to do as I say. Oh, here's a cab. Number 5 Westbourne Road, as quickly as you can.
The fog, Governor. Thick as thieves soup. Can't make any speed, sir.
Do the best you can, and there'll be an extra couple of bob in it for you.
Right, sir.
Petrie, I don't know when the blow will fall, nor how, nor from where. Nevertheless, our first duty is to warn him.
You know the criminal, Nayland? Who is he?
The Prince of Evil. The ultimate expression of Oriental cunning. A Superman of incredible genius. A phenomenon such as occurs only once in generations. Had he so willed, he might have revolutionized science. Been the greatest scientist of our day.
Odd how some mental geniuses turn their talents to evil, eh? But who is he? What does he look like?
Imagine a man tall, lean, and feline. High-shouldered, with an expansive brow like Shakespeare, and a face like Satan. A close-shaven skull and long, magnetic eyes of the true cat green. Invest this personality with all the cruel cunning of an Eastern race accumulated in one great intellect, and you have a picture of Dr. Fu Manchu.
Fantastic character, old chap. Fu Manchu. Suggests an assumed name.
Perhaps, perhaps not. However, it's not...
Here you are, Governor. Just down the road there.
Quite a crowd there at the entrance, Nayland. Constable.
Stop here, driver. Wait for us. Come, Petrie.
Keep moving. Don't crowd up here. You can't get in.
What is it, Constable?
Your authority, sir.
Special Inspector, Criminal Investigation Department.
Oh,
what's happened?
It's that, Inspector. Sir Crichton Davy, dead.
Dead? Then I'm too late.
Inspector Weymouth is up in the library, sir.
Thank you, Constable. We'll go on. Come along, Petrie.
Murder, Nayland?
Of course. Clever, insidious murder. And I'll wager he's left no clue. Oh, I suspected Crichton Bailey would be next, and I was right. But I'm too late. Hard, Petrie. To think I knew and failed to save him. Here, the library.
I say. See who's here. The great Dr. Chalmers Cleve of Harley Street.
Never mind him. I want your diagnosis. Inspector Weymouth?
Yes? Who might you be?
Special Inspector. My credentials. This is Dr. Petrie, my associate.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, I'm glad you came, gentlemen. There's a bit of a mystery here. Dr. Cleve, Inspector Nayland Smith, Mr. Petrie.
Dr. Cleve? Your opinion, Dr. Cleve, as to the cause of death.
Frankly, Inspector, I don't care to venture an opinion regarding the immediate cause. Sir Crichton was a morphine addict, but there are indications not in accordance with morphine poisoning.
The post-mortem would establish the fact?
Possibly, if we ever arrive at the facts.
What do you mean, Doctor?
Just that. I doubt very much if the true cause of death can be established.
You don't mind Dr. Petrie making the examination?
On the contrary, I should value his opinion.
Please, Petrie.
Over here, Doctor, on the couch.
Features oddly puffed. Clenched hands. Hypodermic mark on the left arm. This faint red mark on the right forearm. You've noticed it, of course, Dr. Cleve?
Yes, not unlike the imprint of rouged lips. Not a birthmark, I can vouch for that. A local inflammation, I should say.
Well, I rather doubt that. Nor anything constitutional.
Does it suggest anything to you, Petrie?
I'm sorry, Nayland. No, nothing. I agree with Dr. Cleve. It's most curious.
Heart failure?
I can't be certain. As Dr. Cleve says, a post-mortem might clear the atmosphere.
Inspector Smith, perhaps you'd like to question Sir Crichton's secretary. This is he, Mr. Burgoyne.
Oh, thank you, Weymouth. I understand, Mr. Burgoyne. Sir Crichton was taken seriously ill in this library.
At 11:30. I was working here. He in a little study there.
I see the connecting door is closed. It was closed then?
It was. Always is. It was open, however, about 11:25 for a moment when a message came for Sir Crichton.
Message? What was it?
I couldn't say. It was brought by a district messenger. I placed it at Sir Crichton's elbow on the desk.
Yes, and then?
5 minutes later, Sir Crichton burst open the door and staggered in here with a strangled scream. He fell to the floor, and as I lifted him and carried him to the couch, he gasped something that sounded like the red hand. Before I could reach bell or telephone, he was dead.
The red hand. You believe he referred to this red mark on his arm?
No, sir. I do not.
The red hand. The red hand. I wonder. Could it? Great Scott. The Zayat kiss. The study, Burgoyne. Have you been in there since Sir Crichton died?
Why, yes. For a glance round only. That is, I stood in the door.
You didn't go inside?
Why, no.
Windows, other doors, everything. Closed or open, did you notice?
Closed, sir, tightly. I came out again immediately.
Fortunate for you, old man, that you're not at this moment lying there beside Sir Crichton. By Jove! What's that? Petrie, Weymouth, come with me. You others stay clear. The instant we're inside that study, Burgoyne, close the door. Petrie, at the least sign of movement, on the furniture, floor, anywhere, shoot and shoot quick. Come. Careful, gentlemen. Don't touch anything on your life.
That wailing. What in the name of heaven?
Petrie, stand still. There it is. Don't move.
Thanks for joining me for an hour of some of the old-time radio shows young America liked the best. I'm River Gibbs. Join me again next time right here. This is the Yesterday USA Radio Network.